I've been doing a lot of reading lately, mostly on Generation X and where we are right now, the way times have changed, the way many of us have such an enormous amount of mental fatigue, the way there's so many of us that are wanting to just abandon ship on the job market. And there's a large portion of people that want us to think that we're failing. And I thought maybe there's something to that. So I started digging and did a lot more research. I don't think it's that we're failing at all. I think it's what I think is happening is we are being forced yet again to adapt to times that are changing much quicker than anybody ever anticipated. We followed all the rules and we never complained. But here's the thing, while most of us were busy building careers and raising families, pensions disappeared, housing prices exploded, the cost of college skyrocketed, healthcare got a whole lot more expensive. Technology completely changed how we live and work. When you think about everything that our generation has lived through, we experienced the dot-com crash, 9/11, the Great Recession, COVID, for the crock of crap that was. We witnessed the explosion of the internet, smartphones, social media, artificial intelligence. But here's the part that really hit me hard. Researchers confirm that Gen X is the most stressed generation and has been for decades. Think about that. Trust the science, right? It's not because we're weak, because we're carrying a lot. Many of us are helping our kids, helping our parents, working full time, trying to save for retirement, and making thousands of decisions every day. I really think it's time that we stop saying, I should have figured this out by now. Because in reality, I think we were figuring it out all along. Every time the world changed, we adapted again and again and again. Maybe that's actually our superpower. We're the generation that remembers life long before the internet, but we're still curious enough to learn AI. We remember paper maps, and now we're talking to computers. We've actually reinvented ourselves a lot more than most people realize. Personal transition, yeah. 4 months into retirement, I realized I'm just not wired to sit still. So instead of trying to force myself into someone else's version of retirement, I've decided to build my own version. So maybe the question isn't, why can't I keep up? Maybe the better question is, how do I make this next chapter work best for me? I don't know what that version looks like. Maybe trying to build my own business. I built my own business a few times over the years, and then I would get tired of working my own business and I would sell out and I would go to work for somebody else at an easier, slower pace. Then I get tired of working for somebody else and I want to go back to building my own business. But now at the age of 59, maybe I'll show up for one last rodeo. I don't know if it's generation confusion. I'm not sure what this is called. I really I really have no idea. It's a very confusing time to live in where you're kind of too young to retire, but too old to just keep going and grinding, nowhere else to climb. This whole concept of decision fatigue, it's really intrigued me. Some researchers say that the average person makes 35,000 decisions a day. 35,000. That's unbelievable. And then I realized that if that's how many the average person is making, uh, I know I'm making probably 3 times that. I do have um, I do have somewhat of a needy family. Um, I I created the monster. I created the monster that is my family. Always being there when anybody needs me. So yeah, I created that monster. But now I just want to go at a much slower pace. My husband, he'll ask me if I've talked to one of our kids about this or that. And I'm like, nope. He's like, why? I was like, because I don't want to think about it. That's, whatever they're working on, that's their deal. And they can figure it out, just like I did, just like we did. But I don't want to volunteer myself in spaces where I'm not really needed. But if I put myself in that space, by golly, I'll get utilized. So instead, I'm just choosing to lay low, stay quiet, make as few of decisions as I possibly can, which still seems overwhelming. The mental exhaustion is very real. Um, some days I just don't want to think at all. I just want to binge watch something and just not think at all. I don't know where we go from here. All I know is retirement isn't for me. I don't like sitting still. When I sit still, I think way too much. And I think way too much about things that I can't really do anything about. So I would rather be making money, spoiling my grandkids, spoiling my puppies, making my home beautiful. But that's where I'm at. And I'm realizing there are so many more of us out here. And I'm looking forward to connecting with other Gen Xers. If you have a YouTube channel, I want to subscribe. I want to watch if you're Gen X, if you're boomers. So if that's you, let me know you're there. I'd be glad to support you. Whatever you share, no matter the topic, when I come across somebody who might benefit from your content, I will gladly pass it along. Together, I think we can really rock this YouTube scene.